welcome to a special edition of Anglican Unscripted, the legal news. Alan is up bright and early this morning. We got some breaking news from the United States Supreme Court, where they have decided not to take up the Episcopal Church's claims. And Alan's going to talk about this a little bit more. But for the longest time, since 1979, our side has argued neutral principles. You bought it, you own it. It's simple. It's worked since day one of the Constitution, but the Episcopal Church says, not so fast. What's the latest developments, and if you want to give some background, go for it.
Sure. These were the two decisions that by the Texas Supreme Court rendered a year ago, September, in the Fort Worth case, Bishop Eicher's diocese, and in the Diocese of Northwest Texas case against the parish of San Angelo. And actually the parish of the Good Shepherd in San Angelo. And so the Texas Supreme Court had sent those cases both back to their trial courts for further proceedings after declaring that neutral principles of law would be what governed all Texas church disputes from now on. And the Episcopal Church tried a Hail Mary pass to go up to the U.S. Supreme Court to ask it to review those two decisions. Well, there was a big problem with that because neither decision was final. And the Supreme Court almost never grants review of cases that are not yet final. And so these cases won't be final until the trial courts have rendered their judgments, and then if there's any further appeal like that, back up to the Texas Courts of Appeal and so on. So this morning, it was not unexpected, but at least it did confirm everything. The Supreme Court denied review, refused to grant review, which means these cases now can go forward. And Bishop Eicher's case has a scheduled motion for summary judgment to be heard in December, which is going to probably decide the case then, because the holding of the Texas Supreme Court that the Supreme Court refused to review was, among other things, that the Dennis Canon in Texas creates only a revocable trust, and therefore when churches withdraw from the church, or the diocese withdraws from the church, or a church withdraws from a diocese, that constitutes a revocation of the trust. And therefore, for all practical purposes, the Dennis Canon has no teeth in Texas. And so on remand, when this goes back to Judge Chupp in the Fort Worth Court, why it's going to be a simple question. Has the Episcopal Church managed somehow to impose a trust on all of the diocesan parish properties and on the property of the diocese itself? And it's got a real huge uphill battle for that because, as I say, any such trust it could prove would have to also show that there was language making it irrevocable, and there's just nothing like that in the record. Dennis Canon itself, of course, doesn't do that.
There's not, but the liberals that I know have a tendency, when they're not happy with a decision, keep going to the next step. Can't they go to the international court? I'm sure Zimbabwe would be willing to help out in this in some way, shape, or form.
No, there's no further review of this at this point. This has to go forward now back before Judge Chupp and before the trial judge in San Angelo.
Now, you said it's going to go to summary judgment. Explain to the audience who are still waking up, drinking their coffee, what is summary judgment?
Summary judgment is when there's no disputed facts to have to try in front of a jury to resolve fact issues. If everybody agrees on what the facts are, in this case, it's pretty clear, as I say, that the Diocese of Fort Worth pulled out of the Episcopal Church. The Episcopal Church claims it owns the property of the diocese. To do so, it has to show that it has a trust in that property. It has to show a written document, which it doesn't have. And it has to show otherwise some rules or regulations that it imposed a trust which was irrevocable. And again, it doesn't have that either. So there's no real dispute about this, and the trial court will take a look at all the documents that the Episcopal Church pushes in front of it, and will have no problem, I predict, in deciding that there's no trust in there. Therefore, summary judgment should be given to Bishop Eicher's diocese.
Well, this is a great day for lawyers like yourself. You can take your cape off, and if you want to take the week off, you can. It's on us. Thank you, Alan, so much for your time and helping us walk through these technical proceedings, and congratulations to Fort Worth.